and welcome to a brand new episode of Coming Distractions brought to you by the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we're back. This time we're going to review Those Who Wish Me Dead. This is newly on HBO Max and in theaters, I believe. This is the new Angelina Jolie film with her co-starring with Finn Little, Nicholas Hoult, Aidan Gillen, Jake Weber, Medina Singhor, and John Bernthal. So this film, I'll give the log line. Basically, it's it follows a little boy named who's played by Finn Little, who witnesses the murder of his father and goes on the run with a smokejumper, played by Angelina Jolie, in the Montana wilderness to escape a pair of assassins, played by Nicholas Hoult and Aidan Gillen, hired to silence him. John Bernthal and Medina Singhor and Jake Weber also star. So, a smoke jumper, if you don't know, are the people who like parachute into like where there are forest fires, which is like the craziest shit ever. So I feel like this movie had a potential to have some pretty awesome like smoke jumping scenes. No, there are none. What did you think of this movie?
You know, I'm pretty easy on movies, and I'll be easy on this one when I say that this is like something that I would think would be on like TNT. Like I could see this being on TNT, and people liking it, right? Like it doesn't feel like I'm all for grown-up action movies,
right?
You know, everything doesn't have to be superheroes, but this this is less than the sum of its parts. I like individual pieces of this movie, but as a whole, it felt pretty standard, and coming from the person that wrote Sicario and Hell or High Water, I was expecting something a little more than what I got.
Yeah.
This feels like a movie that should have played. This feels like a movie that would come directly to streaming.
Yeah, it does. It's bland.
Yeah, it's bland.
It's very bland.
It's just kind of, all right. You know,
it's a folding laundry movie if I've ever seen one.
This is the definition of it. This is the definition of it, because there's nothing here that's like, the performances are good all around, but there's nothing that's like keeping me hooked in, right?
Oh,
like,
no. And nothing offensive. Nothing offensive either.
Right. Like you know, I see Aidan Gillen and I'm like, villain, right? And I like the idea of the pair of assassins.
Yeah.
This has some like interesting concepts, but like it's a simple story, like super simple.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Which okay. But I like the performances from Aidan Gillen. Nicholas Hoult a little less, but he doesn't offend me. Angelina Jolie, she always is she's a good to great actress. She did a good job in this movie. Like,
yeah.
But the stakes don't feel high for me.
They don't, and I feel like they should. They should feel much higher, considering these guys are trying to kill a little kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like
trying to murder a child,
right? Like it should feel higher. But like as I'm watching the movie, what I realize is it's basically two different movies. And I don't mean like narratively it's all over the place. It's pretty narratively straightforward, but like it is two movies that you've seen before. It is somewhere between Twister and Cliffhanger. Like it's those same movies, right? Yeah. She's suffering from the loss, like, you know, Angelina Jolie's character sort of has like PTSD because, you know, she was in the middle of this, you know,
because of an accident, right?
Right, like in the middle of a rescue, and she read the winds wrong, and these 3 kids ended up dying, right? So she's kind of fucked up about it, understandably. And that feels like the Helen Hunt character in Twister, right? Like watching her parents die by the hands of a tornado, watching these kids die at the hands of this fire. And it was nothing she could do to save them, that sort of thing. And it traumatized her forever, right? And so she has this like reckless behavior because of it, right? And, you know, like there's literally that scene where she like does a crazy parachute jump off the back of a moving pickup truck, which is just just because she's drunk and she's just being reckless because she doesn't really care about her life, right? Like that's the whole point. So there's a Twister element to it. And then there's the cliffhanger element, which is people of the wilderness, you know, in this case, instead of rock climbing, they're like, you know, these smoke jumpers and stuff and, you know, and survivalists. These people of the wilderness, these good natured people, but they're risk takers and that sort of thing. Their world is invaded by these outside bad guys who are like out to get money or kill a kid in this case and stuff like that. Right. So it has that in there, like these regular people trying to fight back against these assassins. Right. It's basically the same type of movie. Obviously not as ridiculously action packed as Cliffhanger, because that is a great movie. Great bad movie. but I love that movie. So it has like those kind of weird elements. I will say this without spoiling it. It's got a very unlikely action hero in it. One that you do not see in movies almost ever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Like part of it felt like, box ticking, but I wasn't mad at it.
no, I thought it was kind of dope. I thought it was kind of dope. Like I won't give away like what that looks like, but yeah, it is not a likely action hero that you see in movies. Like I can't think of a time I've ever seen that, to be honest. But yeah, like all the performances all the way around are fine. The story is just bland. Like it's, you know, she befriends this little boy as he's, you know, running from these assassins and she protects him. There's some like cooler fire moments. Like they start a forest fire purposely to try to cover their tracks to go after this kid. And so like the fire is always looming over them as like it's getting closer and closer to them. While this is all going on. But all in all, like you're right. The stakes are just they don't feel high enough.
Which is,
it's weird.
And I don't know if it's just because this is just a regular old, you know, MacGuffin chase,
right?
Or what? But you would think that there's no like personal element to it, right? Those who wish me dead. Like, well, it turns out that those who wish me dead are just like 2 random assassins hired by another random person who has 3 minutes in the movie, and who Tyler Perry, who plays a mob boss who has 3 minutes in the movie. And like, there's no relationship to these two, to the right. Good guys and the bad guys, right? Like,
and there's barely a relationship between Angelina Jolie and Finn Little. Like, it's not a deepened relationship, which I would have thought they would have really dug into.
Yeah, like let the motherly instinct. I guess because of the tragedy that happened, she's kind of trying to open up more. But that's me inferring a lot, right? Like,
right.
You don't see that. You don't see them make that connection because the movie doesn't spend a lot of time with those characters. It feels like we spend an equal amount of time between the people being chased and the chasers, but like, I don't know, the
right.
chasers seem to have more dialogue. They seem to interact a little better. I don't know if they're supposed to be like siblings or whatever. But I feel like you might even get a little more screen time with the 2 assassins.
Yeah,
but,
it's a little weird. It's a little weird.
Yeah. But if there were some sort of if the boy like knew who these people were and like they were, you know, betrayed, or they betrayed the boy and his family,
that would have made more of an impact.
Yeah. But as it is right now, like, I don't know. It just doesn't, it's not hitting.
The title makes no sense for the story.
Yeah, Those Who Wish Me Dead. A couple of killers.
Right.
Like, okay.
Yeah, like Wish Me
I
Dead
also,
feels like it's much more personal.
yeah, like there's some real adversarial, like there's some enmity in there, man.
Yeah.
And it's just not. It just doesn't. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's too bad. I look. The guy who wrote this, Tyler Sheridan, who's also the director. Look, you're not slick. You're not slick. I see you. I see you giving Angelina Jolie the weapon from Tomb Raider in the end. I see you. I see it. Like we all see it. I like this movie. All this movie felt like to me was, oh, Angelina Jolie can still do some action. That's cool. I can't wait to see her in Eternals. Like that's all it did for me. I was like, cool. I can't wait to see her in a good movie. That's all I did.
This movie's not like bad, but it's
you can skip it.
Yeah, it's nothing that I would run out to see. There were 3 writers on this thing, and it's based on a book. Like it's based on a book, and he's one of the people that did the screenplay.
Wow.
And I don't know. It just
Michael Corda. No. And again, it's not bad. If I have to give it a score, it's a 2.5 out of 5. It's right down the middle.
Yeah, it's right down the middle. It's not offensive, but it's not like something that I would rush out to see. I feel like the book might be a little better just because you can flesh out relationships. This is also this movie is an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, it's tight.
Yeah,
a lot of waste of space.
It is, and you know me, I'm a type of person that I don't like long, super long movies, but if it's needed for the story, like do it. And I feel like this movie could have added maybe 10 more minutes, maybe 20, just to cultivate some more of the relationship.
Right.
Especially between Angelina Jolie's character and Finn Little's character.
Right.
Yeah, there's just a lot of elements. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Just check it out on HBO Max if you don't have anything else going on.
Right. Like it's perfect that it's on streaming, honestly.
Yep.
Because that's exactly where it should be. All right. That's it for us, and we will see you guys next time.
See ya.